2 days in a row we have had lions. What an absolute treat. Oh, what an absolute treat. Hello and welcome everyone to today's lion-filled show of Live at the Waterhole. My name is Kelly and I'm going to be with you for the next couple of hours, and I could not be happier that we have had lions 2 days in a row. Yesterday at Safari Hook in Namibia and today at Serendella in Thornybush Game Reserve, which is just up the road from where I am now. So please do remember, we are live and interactive today. It's always a pleasure to have everyone here with us. Please do send us through comments, thoughts, questions on any of the methods that you can see on your screen. WhatsApp, on X, via Facebook, Instagram, or indeed on the YouTube channel. We are looking forward to hearing from all of you. If you have not been in touch before, today is your day. Please check in and say hi. Good morning, Ollie the Oxpecker. I hope you are well today. Ollie the Oxpecker. It is 1 minute past 11 here now in South Africa, so it is indeed morning. But wherever you may be, welcome to today's show. They are looking a little bit snoozy at the back here. It's quite warm here today. I think it's going to get up to about 34ish today. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure we're going to get lots of action, but what a treat to have some lions here on the show. I do have, before we get too distracted with lions, I have homework to hand in from yesterday. Firstly, I have some testicle homework to submit. It was commented on how large buffaloes' testicles were, and were they the biggest of all animals? The answer is no, they are not. My tentative research suggests that the right whale, the southern right whale, has the largest testicles of any animal, coming in at a combined weight of up to a ton. Someone did say yesterday bush crickets have the largest by size. You are correct. Bush crickets do have the largest by size, and squirrels seem to have the largest variation depending on the season. So that's the testicle homework out the way. It looks like there's a... Is that a male at the back there? It looks like it might be a male on the left. I can see... It looks like I can see tufts of mane there. As we often see lions settled in the shade. I have spent quite a lot of time in Thornybush. It is a super reserve. Highly recommended. Really, really nice sightings in there. And my old tracker actually now works at Serendella. Hello, Alf. If you are listening, highly unlikely. Sendiswe Mubaso. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Hello to you too, Sendiswe. Great start to the morning with lions. Oh, hello, lady. Welcome to the party. Has she seen something there? So this camera, as we know, is at a... no, maybe not. Is at a waterhole, live at the waterhole. And someone said yesterday, why do predators not just stake out waterholes or pans? And I said they do. Often. And that is exactly what we're seeing here. Everybody needs to come for a drink, no matter what the risks. And it's one of the reasons animals are often so twitchy around water. You are seeing it in real life, in real time. I would also be twitchy. Well, I am twitchy if I ever have to go down to the edge of pans or dams in the bush. Maladi, you're enjoying viewing the lions. You and me both, Maladi. What an absolute treat. So what have we got? Is she looking at something there? Let's have a scan. Thank you, Zooms, for doing excellent work. But yeah, someone said yesterday, why do they not just stake them out? And I said they often do, but it's not. If we're walking, it's. I always approach water or even potential water very carefully. You do need to be aware of everything from wallowing buffaloes that we also saw yesterday. That might have even been here yesterday. Wallowing buffaloes, drinking elephants, snoozy lions. Water is the source of life and everybody needs it regardless of the risks involved. Come on girlie, don't you want to go have a nice drink for us before it gets too hot? Come, go have a drink of water. Gabs from Vanderbilt Park, you are asking, have you ever come across hedgehogs in Tenby Elephant Park? Gabs, I haven't. I've never actually been to Tenby Elephant Park, sadly. It's definitely on my list. Whether or not they've ever been picked up on cameras. Hedgehogs are I've never seen a hedgehog in South Africa. They are incredibly rare and scarce in the wild. If anyone listening or watching has seen a hedgehog, I would love to hear from you if you have ever seen a hedgehog in the wild in South Africa, because I most certainly haven't. We are going to keep a close eye on these lions. Tell us about your hedgehogs using any of the methods on your screen. We're definitely going to keep an eye on these lions and scoot across to Elephant Pan quickly and see what is happening across at Elephant Pan. I'm so excited to see these lions. This is such a treat. We have got elephants at Elephant Pan. Oh, and what a lovely clean drinking spot they've got here. Looking quite sparse and barren here at Elephant Pan. Is this little one going to get moved out of the way? No. It's like a couple of big boys coming in, but everyone is sharing beautifully. Well, it looks like a scene from a movie here at the moment. Looking very dry. Oh no, too big, too scared. I'm out of here.
My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
What does it take to handle the wild? Balance. Determination. Focus.
Yaku!
And gear that can take a beating so you don't have to.
My full name is Cedric Leslie Dold. The best driver at Wild Earth, it is me. I believe I'm the best driver. I think so, because I've... best part of my job, I say, is just to try and look out for these animals, track them down. I love tracking animals. I love looking for, fresh tracks, and if you can find them, it's just at the moment of accomplishment. If I wasn't a presenter for Wild Earth, I would be the drummer for AC/DC.
And that's it for this morning's drive.
She's just got her Impala, everybody.
And we're going to be heading out and seeing what animals we can find.
Out here, every wild moment counts, and as a Wild Earth explorer, you will not miss out. Watch the Wild Earth channel ad-free 24/7, and you can even rewind if you have missed out on something. Enjoy the behind-the-scenes video clips as well as fireside chat, or get the early offers on our travel experiences. It's the best way to stay connected and be part of the Wild Earth family.
In a sort of game reserve. But I'm going to do some additional reading around that. But we are going to head across to El Doño. We could see Kilimanjaro there yesterday, so let's see if the mountain is still peeking out there from behind the clouds. Well, there's a massive elephant in the way at the moment, but I think we might have lost that view now. It was actually the first time yesterday that I'd seen that stunning mountain in the background. It was very iconic here yesterday with mountains and browsed on trees and elephants and giraffes. But I think the conditions do have to be quite specific to get a view of that mountain. Ah, this is nice. Look at these two elephants interacting nicely. Animals communicate so beautifully. Oh, this is quite an intimate moment with these two boys. I think this is very cute to watch. I don't know how the conversation is going, but this is a. Tell me animals, watch this and tell me animals don't feel emotions. Sascot Kid, your German Shepherd Hunter caught a hedgehog and it curled up in his mouth. Took about half an hour to get it out. Oh my goodness. That would be up there with my complete nightmares, having a dog eating a hedgehog. Shame, poor both of them. And IP Knightley. Could I confirm, in fact, that hedgehogs mate carefully? IP Knightley, I can confirm that hedgehogs mate carefully. Very good Sunday funnies there from whoever has sent that in. Thank you for joining the conversation. I'm glad I got that. That would have been embarrassing otherwise. I'm trying to work out what's going on here with these two. It almost looks like the one on the right seeking comfort or something. It's very gentle touching. And that trunk in the mouth, some do say elephants sometimes do that for comfort as well. So is he resting his front foot? And he's also stressed. Look at all that temporal fluid coming from his foot's. Oh, I thought his foot was swollen there. It almost looked like that elephant on the right was seeking comfort. Maybe something's given him a fright, maybe something's upset him. Or maybe he's asking. Maybe he's just asking for some attention. It could be that the one on the right's maybe slightly younger. It's a completely non-proven method, so don't quote me on it. It looks like the one in the middle saying, no, come on, back off now. Back off. I often find young bulls look like they've got really long front legs. And this one on the right looks like he's got long front legs to me. This is a whole conversation going on here. I'm gonna shush and leave you all to try and work out what's going on. I don't know the answer. It's also gentle from such enormous animals. That's actually beautiful to watch. Oh, if only we knew exactly what was going on in their heads. Well, no, maybe I wouldn't like it actually. It's nice to just use our best guesses and try and interpret. Humans don't need to know everything. Some things should stay secret. I see that middle elephant, his penis is out of its sheath, and it almost looked like he's going to go for a mounting behaviour then. I know I've seen it quite a few times in elephants, or several times in elephants, but more from my canine behaviour awareness. And that mounting behaviour, or people say, oh, my dog won't stop humping things, it's often it's over arousal from a sort of excitement perspective more than a sexual perspective. And dogs will often hump things or people or other dogs when they're not quite sure what to do with themselves. It's a something to do. They don't know what they should be doing. They don't know how to handle their emotions. So that humping behaviour comes out, and I'm just wondering if that's not what's happening here. There is big emotions happening in this interaction. I don't know what they are. Lots of tactileness. People often think as well that anything that's humping anything else is trying to dominate it. It's definitely not always the case. Cheslin, you're asking, why do elephants stick their trunks in each other's mouths sometimes? It's a comfort communication thing. Maybe the same as we would put our arms around someone. I do know elephants can have, I can't think of the technical terms, but they can store some water. And I know females will sometimes use their trunks to suck water out of themselves to cool down youngsters in a sort of emergency situations, but I don't think that's going to be happening. I think it's just more a tactile communication thing. Actually, I know, Cheslin. I'm going to see if it says anything in my African animal behaviour book. I don't think it will, because it's not a very common thing we see. But see this elephant on the right, it's just gently touching, it's almost like caressing. And this is all, while we know that bulls don't have, look at that, look. This is gorgeous to watch. We know they don't form herds. Ooh, we're going to leave these boys to communicate so beautifully and gently together and go back to our lions. I think we might have got some excellent views coming out. Shaz, you're saying these elephants are beautiful. EJ, so moving. It just makes me love them even more. I agree, EJ. And Wildlife Lady, he just wants some brotherly love. I think so, Wildlife Lady. But look at this. Sorry, I did rattle through those quite quickly, but they are absolutely beautiful to watch them communicate like this. I think maybe he did just want some brotherly love, wildlife lady. But these are stunning views of live lions. What a treat. I'm going to have a quick check in this book to see if there's anything about elephants putting trunks in each other's mouths. Sociable behaviour, greeting ceremony, lower ranking animal showing intention to insert trunk tip in mouth of approaching adult. Derived from calf's habit of putting trunk into mother's mouth. It's just sociable communication, possibly some sort of don't hurt me sign. I don't like to use the word submissive as such. Just because you ask someone not to hurt you, it doesn't necessarily mean you're submissive. You're just asking not to be hurt. See, I'm not quite sure of the makeup of these lions that we're seeing here. But maybe I can find out. Do we know how long these lions have been here? Anyone that's been watching them for a while? Have they been here for the morning? Do we know? Edison Makiyi. You saw a hedgehog yesterday evening in Zimbabwe, Bulawayo. Everyone's seeing all these hedgehogs. I'm jealous. I've got serious hedgehog envy. Jive bunny. Yes, I've seen. Although numbers have dwindled since I was in England growing up, we certainly don't see them anywhere near as often now. Hedgehogs, but it is beautiful seeing hedgehogs in a garden environment in England and other UK places. It feels wild. I remember when I was very, very young, we used to feed the hedgehogs bread and milk, which we know not to do now, but this is how we learn. So do not feed hedgehogs bread and milk. Well, technically don't feed any wild animals, but I remember as a kid I used to get very excited if the hedgehogs came before I went to bed. They came and their saucer of bread and milk. I may be able to get a bit more information on these lions for us. Melanistic marble, the lions are indeed showing themselves. I'm sure I saw a tuft of mane back there somewhere. It's a treat though to be able to see these guys during the day. I know these cameras do sometimes give us some amazing things at night, but to get visuals in the day is an absolute treat. We're definitely going to keep an eye on these lions for sure, and let's hop across to Unduma and see if we have got any action happening there today. Wow, are these all marabou storks? I'm getting quite fond of marabou storks. No one else is, but I've spent some time watching them lately, and I'm getting quite fond of them. Oh wow, look at that! These are enormous birds. I think we've just lost that camera there. But that was very cool seeing those marabous. But I'm very much enjoying these lines that are out in the open. And it does look like this girl's blowing a bit. But they're looking very relaxed here. And I think these lions got here about fairly recently. I think they came either 3 to 4 hours ago or 3/4 of an hour ago. One of those two, so they haven't been here too long, but thank you for that feedback, Zoomies. And Julian is asking what those marabous were doing. Are they stretching or sunning? A bit of both, probably more sunning. We actually watched a woolly-necked stork yesterday spread those wings wide out, and I've got a theory, I don't know if it's correct, but birds cover their feathers in oil. And if you heat oil, it gets more malleable. So I think it might be warming up that preen oil so they can spread it more thinly and easily through their feathers. I can't quite see if they've all come forward. Is that where the... I'm not sure where they're... I'm sure I saw the mane of a male, but maybe I was wrong. Gabs from Vanderbilt Park. You look at these lions and ask yourself, do they dream when they sleep? I think animals do dream. That we have got... There's loads of lions here. We've seen, science has told us that animals dream while they sleep, so I'm sure if it's been proven that dogs certainly do, and I don't see why lions can't. I don't know if we've ever actually done sort of MRI research, that sort of thing, on lions, but I'm sure lots of you have seen your dogs fake chasing things when they sleep, and those brain activities have been recorded. So I have reached out to see if I can get a bit more information on these lions. We think it's the Avoca Pride, but I'm going to see what more information I can get about these lions. And I thought I saw a male at the back there, but maybe I'm wrong. Definitely some nice adult females here, and I think so. There's these. Go and join your friends. Seeing these lions now. This was about the same time yesterday that we.
My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website.
Every week, the wilderness delivers.
And that's why we're here.
Drama, chaos, crimes, humour. All moments you'll never forget. We've counted them down, argued about them, and finally picked the very best. From rare sightings to classic bush showdowns, this is nature's weekly highlight reel. Sharp facts, bad jokes, and the wildest top 5 you'll see this side of the savannah. It's not just a show, it's a wild bush week.
We are here with a male leopard.
They're literally covering each other's backs. Again, lacking in those shadow stripes here, so this is the Grant's zebra, Equus quacca bohemi, subspecies of those plain zebra. Gorgeous looking zebra though, this one. It's very striking, and it's almost like those. I enjoyed the stripes on the legs getting narrower and narrower. Let's go across to Moella. Lovely views of some zebra though. I don't know if I've ever seen zebra here at Lentora before. Very, very nice. I like the feeling of being in the water here on this camera, but wow, okay, that's trumped, significantly trumped those zebra. We still have zebra aplenty here. And you can see why this is, how effective these stripes are. Even me, seeing it in colour, would struggle to, if they all ran in different directions, how you would pick out an individual to grab a hold of there. Ooh, that's a real tussle of zebra in there. There is some kicking and pushing and shoving. But we were actually talking about it yesterday, how tolerant lots of herbivores are around resources. You know, if there's a great tree, you won't typically see herbivores shoving each other out the way to get to the tree. But I guess there's a lot more, and I rationalised, possibly incorrectly, but who knows, that maybe you see more competition for resources in carnivores or predators, because that zebra in the middle on the left there's got hardly any stripes on its bum. And dead in the middle of the screen on the left, like 9 o'clock, there's a white patch on its bum. My theory was that predators, carnivores, their resource meat has a lot more protein in. It's been stuffed with protein, so it's more worth a fight than a few mouthfuls of relatively low nutrient leaves. That's my theory anyway. Wildlife Lady, Zebra Valley is still going strong here. It's still going very strong, Wildlife Lady. There's still plenty of activity here. Here in Zebra Valley, otherwise known as Morella Safari Lodge.
Oh, wow.
Wildlife spectacle on planet Earth. We'll see you there.
Out here, every moment counts. As a Wild Earth explorer, you won't miss a thing. Watch the Wild Earth channel ad-free 24/7 and rewind if you want to catch something again. Enjoy behind-the-scenes videos, fireside chats, and early access to travel offers. It's the best way to stay connected and be part of the Wild Earth family.
Some of them are still standing waiting patiently. The zebras, when the rains come, we will start to see their numbers decrease, as with so many other animal movements, depending on resource, depending on season. That perpetuating cycle continues, as it has done for many years before us. And long may it continue. Dark mane lover, this is a real razzle-dazzle of zebras. I completely agree. There's some serious stripage going on there. And the way I interpret all of these zebra, I could be wrong as always. Ooh, wow. Ouch, that looked sore. The way I interpret this is not a herd. This to me is various family groups that have been forced together because of resources. That's how I interpret this. And Jet, you're asking, how do stallions maintain their zebra harems? with what's the phrase? An iron fist with a silken glove. No, a velvet glove. An iron fist with a velvet glove, I think is the way. And also the females in a harem, the strongest. They are going to stay with the strongest, most protective, most protective male, because it's beneficial to them. That's who they want to reproduce with. So it's a combination of them wanting to stay there. The males will herd. Yeah. They will herd females. If someone starts to wander off, they'll chase around and scoot them back up again. Same way as male impalas do, when the timing is appropriate. Boris, that's an interesting question. Boris, you are asking, because they have powerful legs, can zebras survive a snake bite? No. I'm going to say, Boris, if the wrong or right snake, whichever way you view it, bit a zebra, it would die. It has no. It would have to get through the skin, but if a snake bite penetrated the skin of a zebra, it would die. If the envenomation was a sufficient quantity and all the rest of it. So, in the same way as, you know, if a human got bitten by a mamba, but they have a bit of plastic on their sock and the teeth didn't go in, then a human's going to survive a mamba bite as well, because it didn't actually bite, it missed. And the same if maybe a snake bit a zebra's leg and it hit their chestnut, those funny knobbly things halfway up their legs, it would survive because the venom hadn't gone in. But if a black mamba penetrated the skin of a zebra and injected venom, the zebra's going to die. Obviously body mass and things like that have an impact on how much venom is required to do enough damage to kill the animal. I suppose a zebra would be more likely to survive a snake bite than a human, but only because of fur and less penetrable skin. I know human skin, if a snake just tiny sneak little bit on the edge of the skin, the tiniest scratch, that venom can penetrate into the system, into the blood, into the nerves, into the skin. But zebras have fur, so it could make it more resistant to envenomation. I suppose we wouldn't really know, would we?
I get to wake up every morning and go out there and look for cats. I get to create my everyday safari for myself. Myself, I grew up in the sort of central eastern suburbs of Johannesburg, fully qualified trails guide and a fully qualified nature conservationist. I love the wild places. I love being in the wilderness. It's probably one of the best jobs I've ever had and probably ever could have.
That is brilliant.
Real, you say the best kind of roadblock? Absolutely. Look at this.
Hello, girls.
Looking very relaxed. Enjoying some afternoon snooze time. The rest and digest system, the parasympathetic nervous system is very much activated. Spending some nice downtime. Getting all the nutrients they can out of that food resource that they've swallowed, they've regurgitated, and are now chewing that cud to get all the goodness or as much nutrients as they can out of that. Whatever it is they're eating, could be grass, could be leaves. Impalas are very adaptable, and it's why we see ruminant poop is often very small. They've spent a lot of time processing that, digesting that, re-chewing it. Lots of good absorption has gone on. And those little poops are very concentrated, and if you break them down it's like a fine dust, whereas your hindgut fermenters, so your elephants, your rhinos, if you look at their poop, it's like slightly cut up grass or whatever it is they've been eating. Not very well utilised, not very well broken down. That's unusual. Is that impala on the right actually resting its head down? That's unusual actually. I don't think I've seen this very often. Young baby animals will often lay flat, they'll sleep flat. But adults normally they normally keep their heads up looking for danger. But this guy on the right looks like he's got his chin on the floor and everything, like he needs a pillow. He's having a proper snooze there. Sascot Keith, that's a very good question. If an animal had to die because of a snake bite, would the animal then become toxic to scavengers? No, technically no, because venom is injected and poison is ingested, and venom contains lots of proteins, many of which would be denatured. Also, but I'm thinking different types of snake bites. Sometimes in snake bites flesh does become necrotic, which is obviously not very delicious. But I think you're thinking along the lines, if a zebra was killed by a snake bite, would all the lions go, "Ooh, no, thank you"? No, they wouldn't. They would probably eat it. EJ, you're saying thank you for your little snacks of info you learned from me without feeling lectured to. Brilliant. That's awesome, EJ. Thank you very much for the feedback. Feedback is always very much welcomed. And I always maintain I do not know everything. I do not know half. I do not know a tenth of it. And I really enjoy learning new things because of the questions that I'm asked here. It's my favourite bit, I think. It's a discussion, not a lecture. What are you? I think there's a jacana over there in the background. Oh, lovely. Show us your feet, Mr. Jacana, or Mrs. Jacana. Beautiful birds, these African jacanas. I'm actually just gonna check and see how you would tell the difference between sexes of jacanas. I can't actually remember off the top of my head. The female is larger, but there's not really much difference in the colouring of them. I thought not. There's some Inyala back there as well. Lovely unusual views here at Tenby today. Normally we've just got the elephants here, but this looks like a little one. Or a young one. Young Inyala there. Brilliant. I'm going to leave this, what appears to be, if I was forced to guess, I would possibly say a very young male Inyala. His legs look funny to me. It looks like it's going to possibly turn into a beautiful male at some point. But anyway, let's go across to my beloved Tau, see what's happening there. We had some excellent birding there. And I've also got some homework to hand in about spur-winged geese. So let's see if we have spur-winged geese across at Tau Waterhole. They are not spur-winged geese, they are white-faced whistling ducks. But that's alright, I'm going to tell you about spur-winged geese anyway, close enough. Spur-winged geese do indeed have a spur on their wings. I thought they did, but I went away and checked my workings yesterday. And it's massive. It would be on, I think it would be sort of on their shoulders. I'm holding my arm up like it's a bird. Shoulders or elbows? I don't know. At the corner of their wings, and it almost looks like a tooth. If you haven't seen it before, I strongly suggest you go away and find an image of a spur on a spur-winged goose's wing. And it's quite impressive, and I can completely see why and how that would be used in defence. I've seen it many times in Egyptian geese because they're horribly aggressive towards each other. They sort of stand and open their wings and like flap them around at each other, and that spur could have someone's eye out, for want of a better word. I would not want to get in front of a flappy spur-winged goose's spur on its wing, put it that way. So yeah, I went and checked. and they are formidable looking spurs. And I wonder if other ducks or geese have them as well. Possibly not to such a ferocious extent, but lots of ducks and geese defend territories and breeding rights by flapping their wings at each other. So it's made me wonder. I wonder if any of the others do. I'm assuming the rest of these ducks are indeed white. Well, one of them isn't actually. That looks like it might be a teal that's having a change of scenery and hanging out with the white-faced whistling ducks. So it's duck, 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 teal, duck, 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 I think. Yes, I think that is there's another teal there on the far left. Is that a teal? Lovely birding, often. No, that's not a teal. I'm not sure what that duck is on the. I don't know what the one is with its head tucked in. And I want to say red-billed teal, but it doesn't look quite right. But maybe it is. Just checking to see what else that might be. No, it is teal. Lots of good birding here at the Tower Waterhole. These are gorgeous looking ducks, these white-faced whistling ducks, and that very characteristic sound they make. It's always lovely to hear them flying over. Oh, we've got some wildebeest coming in for a drink. There's a, what's that? You a spoonbill? Show me. No, you are not a spoonbill. You are a cattle egret in your breeding plumage, I believe. Oh, I've got it pixelating a little bit here. I can't achieve that. I think it's a breeding plumage cattle egret, but it's a bit pixelated, so. We're going to go across to Aldonio. I thought we were just going to leave me struggling there to identify a horribly pixelated small white bird in the distance. But these are I think it's these same boys still here at Aldonio. But I was really enjoying watching them just peacefully. Oh, I'm not sure if it's the same ones, to be honest. Just peacefully interacting with one another. So while they don't form herd structures or, you know, family groups like the females and the little ones. You know, a relationship's a relationship, just different. Oh, welcome, Eland. Shame these elephants are upsetting everyone today. sharing so nicely. This, that, look.
I get to wake up every morning and go out there and look for cats. I get to create my everyday safari for myself. I grew up in the sort of central eastern suburbs of Johannesburg, fully qualified trails guide and a fully qualified nature conservationist. I love the wild places. I love being in the wilderness. It's probably one of the best jobs I've ever had and probably ever could have.
Ria, you say the best kind of roadblock? Absolutely. Look at this.
Hello, girls.
And how the scene is looking across there in the Timbavati. Ah, we've got elephants having a splish splash. Oh, that looks so refreshing. I really enjoy watching elephants do this. Their resource placement is excellent. As they get older, they get very, very accomplished with placing that mud and that water exactly where they want it to go. It does. No, I suppose logically, I was about to say it does make me wonder why they don't just lie down and have a roll in it. But I guess it's effort, it's body weight. These are big animals. It's not easy. It's not super difficult, but it expends the energy having to get down, having to get up. It also makes them, not that anything's particularly going to predate on them, it makes them more vulnerable. We got a splash on the camera there. I think one of them splashed as far as this camera. Helen, you are asking, do elephants ever create stampedes? To me, a stampede is just a load of animals running, sort of fairly blindly and panicked. Yes, they from both perspectives. I've seen elephant stampedes, for want of a better word. If they panic, they run and will squash anything that's in the way. I have seen that. Or if you are meaning stampedes from the perspective that do elephants ever cause animals to run away or around in a stampede, then also yes. Maybe not for kilometres, but if a zebra or a wildebeest gets frightened or gets chased by an elephant, they might all run in a specific direction. So yes, they can and they will. But if you, the phrase stampede to me makes me think of buffalo for some reason. I'm not sure why. Our elephants have made their way off, leaving a splob of mud on the camera there. But let's have a look at Naledi and see what we've got going across there. Melanistic marble, a splish, splash, splosh. I think that is an excellent definition of the sounds we get when elephants are involved in this mud placement activity, shall we say. And we're going to see it again now from this. Are we going to get more splish, splash, splosh, or are we going to have a drink first? I've often found they will drink, then they will splash mud or water, and then they go splash dust. But let's see. No. We're going straight for the water. See, hardly any of that water's falling off. Let's watch what order he does this in. So he's gone back of the ear, over the back. Look like a belly maybe to me. I wonder if they have, if individuals have a preferred order of splashing, whatever you want to call it, of mudding themselves. Like people just in the shower, they'll normally have a preferred order. I wonder if elephants have an individual preferred method of covering themselves with water or mud. I think they probably do. Wildlife lady, bath time for elephants. It's always wonderful to see them exercising these preferences for coolness and mud. See, he's doing his sides now. I wonder if it looked like to me that the back of the ears first. But we know the skin is very thin there, so maybe if he's hot, a bit like if someone's feeling faint, we put a cloth on the back of their neck, trying to help cool them down quickly, or a cloth on the forehead. I wonder if that's the same as elephants putting water or mud behind their ears because the skin's nice and thin. Maybe that gets that cooling system going. Mr. Elemental, you think he's unhappy with the manky water? Possibly, but oh no, it would make sense actually. Of course he's not going to drink that. He's got a beautiful fresh water supply just next to him. That is why. That would make complete sense. Don't you love it when you're almost proved right? That's why he didn't drink first, because
let's go and take a look. See you out there. Even our hyena coming into the action as well now. Oh my word! She's stalking the hyena now. Leopard, hyena, lion, all together in one shot. Oh. Woo! This is action-packed.
The bush, full of beauty, wonder, and absolute chaos. And now, all that madness has its own show. It's called a Wild Bush Week. The countdown of the most outrageous, heart-stopping, and sometimes downright ridiculous wildlife moments of the week. Lions throwing their weight around. Hyenas gate-crashing the buffet. Leopards doing, well, leopardy things. Each week, it's a fresh reel of safari gold, a mix of drama,
She's just got an impala, everybody.
danger, and a healthy dose of laughter. So, if you fancy a highlight show with bite, and I don't mean just the animals, tune in to a Wild Bush Week. You bring the tea, and we'll bring the tusks, tails, and teeth.
I was him, the way I would do it, I would get there, I would have a nice drink so I wasn't thirsty, and then I would have a good roll and splash around in that mud, snack, and then carry on my day. Or I might just stay there all the time, actually, because that is a good job well done, I think. Off he goes into the bush. Ha! That was so nice to see though. Lovely watching that big boy get down and muddy. Let's go across to the hide in Wangi. I haven't spent much time here recently. Let's have a look-see and see what we've got happening. We're getting around a lot this afternoon. What a pleasure. And what an... Oh, look at this. These are one of my favourite things to watch, actually. I love watching baboons. I think it's because I feel like I can... What are they doing down there? Are they butts in the air, those baboons? Oh, I'm really due a new laptop. It looks like they're... Yeah, they are. What are they doing down in there, I wonder? It looks like they're drinking, or they've got a... What are they doing? There's lots of them with their mouths on the floor. Sorry, Saddlebill Stork, I do see you. And you are absolutely magnificent. Are they down a hole? Oh, Saddlebill Stork just caught something. I'm not sure what they were doing. It almost looked like they were sort of bending down, bending forwards to take something out of a hole or something. And there's rather a lot of blacksmith lapwings there as well. That's almost a little bit unusual. I don't really see them in pairs. Assuming they are blacksmith lapwings. But yes, I very much enjoy watching baboons, monkeys, from a distance or on these cameras, and I was just about to say what an absolute pleasure that we have covered a very substantially large amount of Africa in the last 75 minutes. We have been around all over the place and we have seen some amazing things because of these awesome cameras. It looks like they're eating something off the mud. Now, what would they be eating off the mud there? Possibly minerals? I'm not too sure. It does definitely look like they're bending down and almost nibbling something off the soil. Maybe there's insects on soil, maybe there's some tiny little bits of new growth or little shoots of something coming through. We've got two lovely herons there as well. See this baboon here now, this looks like more like it's having a drink. But look how nicely these, see baboons under some circumstances, they will hunt birds. I've seen clips of baboons catching flamingos. So I mean, you can see the size comparison, that big baboon that's just walked over with that heron there. But that heron is not even remotely bothered, is it? I think the power of flight gives some birds a false sense of security sometimes. Jaku Cruz. You are asking, do baboons have a matriarch or an alpha male that leads the group? Baboons have it's called an oligarch society, so there will be several big males that will be in charge of that group. They normally think that it's normally one of the big ones that tends to be the main leader, but he will have comrades or henchmen or whatever you want to call them. So it will be several big males that will be in charge of a group. I think females also do have some sort of hierarchy, but it's more a favoured female than maybe it might even be linear in baboons, maybe a daughter. I think that's how it works for the female side of baboon society, but it will be led by a group, a gang of males, but one ultimately will be the top. I was going to say top dog, but they're not dogs. Top baboon in that scenario. Oh, why are we all moving? It looked like something was approaching then. But yeah, I could watch baboons for hours and hours and hours. Please don't forget, we do still have about 40 minutes left, so you've still got time to get in touch, either via WhatsApp, on X, on Facebook, Instagram, or on YouTube. Send your thoughts and your questions through. I will answer anything I can, and either guess at the things I can't, or give myself some homework. And we can all learn together, my favourite part of this show. I think that is a wonderful idea. I would be more than happy to go and check on our Serendella lions. We had some lovely views earlier. I haven't had any more feedback on who we think these lions may be, but this is still heads up. We do think this is maybe the Avoca. Oh, she's up, look. Huh. I definitely think these lions are keeping their eye out for something to potentially snack on for lunchtime. They are not. Oh, they're looking lovely though. She's looking nice and lean and muscled. They are definitely not spark asleep by any stretch of the imagination. So Thorny Bush is open to the Greater Kruger. It's a huge area. I think it was 2017, 2018. Thorny Bush Game Reserve dropped their fences to allow for the dynamic movement of animals between Thorny Bush, the Timbavati. So these lions could technically walk to King's Camp, and the King's Camp lions could then walk to Shalati, etc., etc. I'm not exactly sure how far everyone would get in which direction, but certainly all those areas of the Greater Kruger are mostly open to each other, which allows for lovely flow of dynamics, encourages gene diversity, so individuals, animals from the same lineage to disperse, to prevent inbreeding, not just lions, but everything really. Everything should, and in nature indeed does, disperse to create good gene pool diversity, good mixtures of DNA. Also any genetic negative sides of things that have come from genetics will disperse. It will not mean any animals carrying undesirable genetic traits. They will not stay in the same area if it was not conducive to good survival of the species. They will wander off and probably not make it, leaving the stronger animals with the stronger genetic traits to flourish and thrive in one situation. Penelope Kenyon, hi Penelope Kenyon, isn't it just? It is great seeing lions on the Waterhole show. This is my second day in a row now, and I am back tomorrow, so maybe we will get some lions turn up somewhere else, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. But yes, Penelope Kenyon, I agree, it is great seeing some jaws, paws and claws here on the lunchtime shows. And lovely views of these lions here. They could just as easily be 3 or 4 meters back and behind that tree. Very kind of them to give us such brilliant visuals. We appreciate you, lions. I am going to reach out to some peoples and see if I can find out, if not now, then possibly by tomorrow, to try and find some more information out about these lions. There's definitely females. I thought I saw a male at the back there, but I'm not sure. But I would love to be able to tell you a bit more about this pride, what their pride makeup is, what their pride dynamic is. We think it might be the Avoca pride, but I couldn't tell you. Oh, that's a hippo there. This is our hippo that I was starting to feel quite sorry for. This hippo, he kept getting evicted. He got evicted by buffaloes, he got evicted by elephants. But he's having a nice bit of peace and quiet here today. But yeah, I'm going to try to find out some more information about this pride. And I will let you know tomorrow. See, that's a more standard view of blacksmith's lapwings. So that's one. There's at least 5 here, I think. Joshua Ward, you are asking, do black panthers purr? I don't think so, because from my research previously, I believe a black panther is actually a melanistic jaguar, I think, and jaguars belong to the group of roaring cats, but I'm going to check, Joshua. It's been a long time. I've spent many hours digging around in the genetics and taxonomic classifications of jaguars and leopards and the subspecies of leopards and various things, but I'm going to check. Let me go away and check, Joshua. If I don't know something, I do not cheat and quickly check it while I'm here. I'm going to log it as homework. I'd actually like to revise the taxonomy of lots of the big cats as well. I'm just going to write this down as homework, Joshua. I'm going to delete my spur-winged geese and testicle size homework from yesterday, and black panther purr. Come back tomorrow, Joshua, and I'll let you know. In the meantime, we're going to keep an eye on these lions and scoot back across there to Old Donio. And the reason I don't like to... Well, that's a lovely visual. Hello, Zebs. We all know we can all access loads of information relatively instantly these days, but I've stopped trusting so many sources now. There's so many things I've lost faith in many search systems for information. I'd like to use my books I've got. I like to think that surely something wouldn't have been published in print if it was incorrect. But some of my material is getting a bit older now. So if I am going to research something, I like to check it backwards, forwards, inside out from various different sources. And I only really trust peer-reviewed, published scientific papers now. Or the other information I will believe is if it's from a known, like human, very good, reliable source whose information I would trust. So it takes me a little bit longer. But that's all right, I like learning. And this is exactly why I'm still passionate about watching zebra having a drink. I've watched lots of zebra have a drink over the years. But it's never quite the same. And look at those glorious differences in those spot patterns. I feel like these, I believe these are the Grant's zebra. But I feel like the zebra I've been seeing here recently have got really narrow stripes on their legs. They've got big stripes, and then it's sort of, they get really, really narrow, like a barcode on their legs. So I'm enjoying it a lot.
We'll see you out on the safari.
It could be a very exciting morning.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change.
Some ellies that we're approaching now.
The light on her as well is absolutely gorgeous.
So we are going to enjoy the rest of this sunset.
Wow, 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 this is absolutely crazy.
And thank you for joining us. For myself and Cam, we will see you next time.
Safari, wine, and waterfalls, the ultimate African adventure. Sip South Africa's finest wines. Experience a world-class safari among Africa's iconic wildlife. And stand in front of Victoria Falls, one of the natural wonders of the world. All this can be yours with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
As well. That's my understanding. Anyway, Norman, if anyone can correct me, I'm happy to take advice on that. Someone asked me recently, why does some of the buffalo not have horns? And I wasn't actually looking at the buffalo at the time. And I said, oh, it's quite unusual for buffalo not to have horns. And then someone pointed out to me, the ones without horns are babies. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't notice that. Possibly you sometimes find that females in some species have a slightly different coloration to the males. Possibly that. That is a very nice image. Zebra in the foreground, giraffe in the background. I find it interesting as well here that the giraffe drinks so readily in the presence of others. My experience has suggested, is that a male sniffing her back end while she's having a drink? Is that a female at the front? That's a bit inappropriate, boy. He's having a drink. Or is it another? Was he just bending down? I can't quite see from this angle. But giraffe are much more likely to drink readily when surrounded by others, as what I've experienced. Giraffe will stand for ages trying to build up the courage or decide whether or not it's safe to have a drink, but I guess here they just have to get on with it, otherwise they'll never get a drink. Oh, Cornelia Boltonsperger, thank you very much for your support in my theory. You are confirming that young Grant zebras are brown and white, and getting older they become black and white. Yes, thank you for corroborating my story. That's what I thought. I just looked at them, and the younger ones, or the smaller ones, appeared to have more chestnut or ginger in their manes there. And also along that sort of fluff on there, on that dorsal line as well, looks a little bit more gingery to me. Oh, Trixie Rose, what a brilliant question and what a brilliant idea. Trixie Rose, you are saying, are there any reference books you can buy online that get automatically updated? I wish, Trixie Rose. I wish. It's unfortunately not that I'm aware of. I do still enjoy books, like paper books, if I travel or if I'm guiding in new regions, or even if I'm going away for a couple of weeks. I like taking my books with me because everyone knows you can search engine things and AI things and all the rest of it. Everyone knows that now. It's not a secret. But I prefer to do it. Oh wow, am I going to say this out loud? I almost prefer to do it the old-fashioned way. It's, you get to know some of the books you use. I must admit I don't normally travel with a bird book anymore. I normally use an app for birds. And I think I've got a frog app. And I think I've got a snake app, but I've also got a really nice reptile book that I use. I like the paper books, Trixie Rose, but wow, it would be unmanageable. I mean, taxonomy is an absolute minefield to keep up with. Behaviour is rapidly increasing momentum. The way humans understand or interpret emotion in animals, and science is proving things. So it's not just if you think an animal's feeling a particular way now. There's been brain scans. I read a paper recently that they'd done brain scans on that wasn't it. It was, I think it was was it Jane Goodall? Jane Goodall was talking about, I saw in one of her things that someone taught their dog to lay still for an MRI machine because they'd only ever had MRI images of animals' brains when the animals were sedated, which obviously gives different results to if an animal's awake. You couldn't give it smells or anything like that. And they did brain imaging of a dog that had been taught to quietly stay very, very still in an MRI scanner. and it showed completely different results and areas of activation in the brain, and the different areas that activated under different conditions in very similar ways to human brains activate when given specific stimulus. Anyway, that was a bit of a ramble about but wow, Trixie Rose, that would be a big book that automatically updated, but it would be an absolute godsend. Oh, okay, recycled teenager. You're saying apparently monkeys seem to eat mud to prevent stomach upsets. I believe that. I don't think I've ever heard it, but I would 100% believe it. I'm sure there's minerals, or maybe it's even a physical component that might, if something's bubbling around in the stomach, if you put some sort of fine dusty stuff in it, it might settle those churning bubbles or something. I'm not sure. I've never heard it, but I totally believe it. So thank you for sharing that. Recycled Teenager UK. Brilliant name. Recycled Teenager.
What does it take to handle the wild? Balance. Determination. Focus.
Yaku!
And gear that can take a beating so you don't have to.
Oh, she's gonna catch it.
Come on, Tommy! Watch this, we're about to see a kill.
You can see how close he is from where I am. If you love watching Wild Earth, here's a little tip. Become a member. You can gain access to the channel ad-free, you can rewind and re-watch sightings, and you can join our Tuesday live safaris. There's also behind the scenes videos, fireside chats, and every safari live episode, whenever you want it. It's just a better way to stay connected to nature.
Cameras. It's bad enough trying to keep up with the hunt when you've got a car and you're there with your eyes. It would be a lot of pressure on our fabulous zoomies to keep up with that. It's tricky enough trying to do it in person. But you never know, Joey. You absolutely never know. 2 of my 3 kills that I've seen with my eyes, big ones anyway, have been at waterholes. I think, yeah, they were both quite open. Would you manage it with one of these cameras? Possibly. It's not impossible. They were both of my hunts at waterholes were, one was in the morning, probably about 7:30. It was a lioness killing a baby zebra. And then the other one is possibly my favourite, and I will tell you my story. I was actually with two very good friends of mine. They were staying at the lodge as guests. And I had two other guests that were supposed to come out, but they arrived late, so it was just me and the two people I knew and my wonderful Chuck and Noel. And we just drove out and we found a dam, and there was a leopard, but this leopard was maybe, it was far. A good 80 metres away on the other side of the dam. And we stopped and we had a look at the leopard far away, and then another vehicle was there. And then someone else found a leopard that was not as far away, and they raced off. And I said, do you want to go? They said, no, let's just stay here. And we were just chatting, and we were catching up and talking to Noel, and Noel was telling us stories. And after about 15-20 minutes, the leopard was just sleeping under a bush, exactly like these lions are, maybe even more, maybe 20 to 30 minutes. Glorious afternoon, the sun was starting to throw those lovely orange colours. And a duiker walked out of the tree line and down to have a drink. And we all went, oh, there's a duiker there. And we watched our leopard, and our leopard looked and started that characteristic leopard crawl. And went from one bush to the next bush to the next bush, and grabbed this duiker and dragged this duiker all the way across the edge of the dam along the water line, probably another 50-70 metres, and then dragged it off into the bushes. It wasn't close up, it wasn't on top of the vehicle, and we were the only people there, and it was just because we'd taken our time. We hadn't rushed off to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, and it was an incredible moment. And the older I've got, the more I've taught, the more I've learnt that just be patient. The harder you chase, the more nature will politely decline, in my experience. Jive Bunny, you're saying, thank you so much for hosting, Kelly. It's an absolute pleasure, Jive Bunny. It's glorious to be here, and I will be back tomorrow. And you're also saying thank you to the African volunteer Zoomies. I fully echo that, Jive Bunny. They do an amazing job keeping their eyes on everything for us. I fully agree. And your tireless team in Joburg at Wild Earth. I also fully support this. These are all the unsung heroes of bringing all of these shows together, and I also appreciate them all hugely, especially as also covering 8 hours of safaris a day. There is indeed 8 hours of safaris a day, so they are all working incredibly hard, and I also salute all of our Zoomies and our team in Joburg. So thank you for all you do, guys. You are appreciated. And we're, as a treat, we're getting some, oops, I just knocked the microphone. As a treat, we're getting some fabulous views of these lions at Sarandella. They are not. Oh, that's a great idea. Let's go across to Rosie's. I think we've got a scratching elephant, but don't worry, our fabulous team in Joburg and our Zoomies have eyes on these glorious felines, and will let us know if, Joey, we do happen to catch a live hunt. So this is Rosie's Pan, Bulule Nature Reserve, also not too far from where I am. On this Oliphant is having a lovely scratch here by the looks of it. Having a scratch, having a snack. That's actually a really nice elephant scratching stump. Maybe a little bit high. I think if this was maybe 50 centimetres lower, it would get lots of use. It does disturb me immensely watching rhinos and elephants. They will almost sit on these spiky stumps and logs and things and get right up in there to give all these hard to reach areas a good solid scratch. Norman, what a brilliant question. See, I love doing this. I've never thought of that. Norman, you are asking, do animals that scratch themselves ever get splinters? Possibly. So, elephants, rhinos, they have got super thick skin. But even if they do have super thick skin still has nerves in it, and I still wouldn't want to get a splinter. So possibly. But if you think, splinters normally come from sort of planed wood or cracked wood or things like that. If you were gonna, and these animals normally rub on trees, so on bark on trees. That stick thing might be a little bit different, but they will normally scratch on stumps and logs with bark on, and you don't really get splinters from bark. So I reckon if they were forced to scratch on like a planed 2x4, they might. But I don't think it happens too often because they normally scratch on wood that has bark on it. There we go. Excellent. Let's pop across to coral. See what we've got going there. But we have been all over the place this afternoon. What a pleasure. We've covered, how many different places have we been to? At least 10 places this afternoon, with not even a single flight involved. Look at these guys having a splash here on coral. Wildlife Lady, I'm glad you enjoyed today's show. It has been a lovely show today. I've also really enjoyed it, so thanks for checking in, Wildlife Lady. You're saying thank you to FC and also to all the Zoomies. I fully support your thanks, Wildlife Lady. They really do an excellent job, and it's my pleasure to be here. I do have some large feline taxonomic vocal capability research to do as homework, but I will be back tomorrow and I will be handing this in. It has warmed, it's warmed up here over the last couple of hours, but I think it's probably going to be about 34, 35, so my thing actually says 35, so we are going to be seeing animals increasingly in water. So yeah, tomorrow, do Black Panthers per Joshua. I shall hand in my homework for you tomorrow. And see this elephant just resting his trunk there on his tucked there, heavy head. Just having a little bit of a rest. I also really enjoyed watching those elephant bulls communicating right at the start. Very gentle, very calm, very emotive almost, very calm, gentle communication between such enormous mammals. I think it puts us humans to shame when a 6-ton animal can communicate with such gentleness and care. Chrissy UK. It's an absolute pleasure, Chrissy UK. I'm glad you've enjoyed all of the information I've shared. And again, thank you to all of Wild Earth for brilliant viewing. Again, I concur, Chrissy. It's a pleasure to be here. And it's a lovely opportunity to sit and really observe, really think about what's going on here. And as I always say, the discussions are my favourite part. So many things come up that I did not know or I have not thought of before. And at the end of the day, that's why we're all in it. If we knew everything, or we thought we knew everything, then what's the point? Why would we even be doing it anymore? The learning and the growing is the fun part, in my opinion. Check this boy having a scratch with his back legs here. I'm gonna leave these Nkoro boys to finish their bath time, and we're going to just finish off this afternoon with our lions there across at Serendella. I am going to see if I can find out a bit more about these lions, or who they are. Like I said, my fabulous ex-tracker is now guiding at Serendella, and I'm going to be reaching out to him, seeing if we can get you a bit more information onto who's who in the zoo across at the Serendella Lions. Okay, I think we might have had the best of our heads up views for today, but that's okay. That is okay, but what a stroke of luck. 2 days in a row for me. Live lions. The camouflage of these lions at this time of year is absolutely insane. I don't know, like that, they literally just look like those sticks and that sand. But it mystifies me every year. I say this every year and go, look, they're just sand and white colour. But then they also disappear in the long grass. Nature is incredibly cunning to make camouflage so effective in so many different types of environment. But hey, I guess that's nature for you. We have some snoozy cats. But who knows, tomorrow, if we come, there may be lions eating something enormous. But if you want to watch in the meantime, you do not have to wait until tomorrow. You can hop across to the cameras, the live cameras with Africam, and you can watch this until this time tomorrow if you would like to. And please fill us in. Join the show tomorrow and fill us in on what's been happening. But that is the beauty of it. You can follow these stories for as long as you would like to. So thank you to everyone that works at Africam for making that possible. But we are just about out of time for today, team, I'm afraid. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here, as always. We are going to say goodbye to these snoozy girls. I believe mostly girls. I haven't had some good views. But it's been a pleasure. What a great way to spend a Sunday. I think it's Sunday. But yeah, what a great way to spend a Sunday afternoon. So please do continue enjoying the rest of your Sunday. Thank you for participating. It would not be possible without you. And I will be back tomorrow. Please do join us. But until then, take care. Bye-bye.